Hello everyone and welcome to the very first episode of the Tipsy Bakers Hour. I'm your host Alexis Martinez Mendez and I am so very excited to have you here today. Now I had a really great guest lined up but sadly she couldn't be here. But do not worry because today I'm not just the host. I'm also the guest. Yay! I had everyone on my crew create 3 questions each for me to answer. Now the fun part is I have not seen a single question yet. So wish me luck. Anyways, in spirit of the first episode and as a dedication to my wonderful and amazing husband who helped me self-fund this project, we're going to try our hand at baking his favorite dessert from his childhood, a tres leches cake. So grab your favorite margarita mix, grab your favorite tequila, and don't forget the cake mix. And let's embrace on this tasty adventure together here on the Tipsy Bakers Hour. All right, so to kick the show off, I'm gonna take a shot and I'm gonna answer a question. Oh gosh, this is straight tequila.
Warning, the host already had 5 shots before recording this video.
Yeah. The first question is, where do you hope to accomplish? Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. What do you hope to accomplish 5 years from now in the filming industry? Honestly, I hope to just make a name for myself. I just want to feel like I've accomplished something. Even if the world doesn't feel like I've accomplished something, I want to feel like, oh, okay, girl, you did that. You made it to where you want it to be. I think that answers the question, so I'm gonna start baking now. So, I'm not a professional baker. I'm not a professional mixologist. This is just for fun because I like to drink and bake, so don't get you guys' hopes up. But anyways, like I said when I ended the segment, we're going to start by taking our favorite cake mix. And what I like to do, I like to, what is this called? What is this called? Strain, there we go. Okay, I like to strain the cake mix with a strainer first so that it gets all the clumps out of it. So you just pour your cake mix in, and then I'll take my spatula, and then I'll just strain it in there. So that way it gets all those big nasty clumps out sometimes. 4 eggs, 1/3 cup of vegetable oil, 1 cup of water. Another thing that I like to do, I like to add milk instead of water because I feel like it makes it a little thicker. Now, once again, I'm not a professional, so don't get your hopes up. All right, so 1 cup. And if you go a little over, that's cool too. I feel like it makes it a little thicker. Anyways, and also don't judge me for using whole milk. I'm broke. I can't afford almond milk. Crack eggs. Also add an extra egg. Once again, because I feel like it makes it a little thicker. I don't know. Do whatever you guys want to do. Once again, I'm not a professional. Who am I to tell you what's right or wrong? I'm just here to get drunk on camera and have a good time. Hey, wash your hands too. Because if you don't wash your hands, you're dirty. You're dirty and nasty. So I'm gonna room this up. And while this is mixing up, I think it's time for another question and and another shot. So here we go. Okay. Okay, a little backstory. My husband is on the crew because he has absolutely no choice but to support me. And he also made questions. So he said, "Why is your forehead so big, girl? Does your head weigh more than normal people's do?" My forehead is so big because I got bad genetics. You can blame my father, rest in peace, and my mother. My mom's head is the shape of a melon. So I'm gonna assume that's why my forehead is so big. And joke's on him because when he decides to have a kid with me, his kid's forehead is gonna be large. So another thing that I like to do is that sometimes the mixer that I bought, it doesn't go all the way down, like whatever this part is called, the spinny thing. So I'll blend it up at the bottom, and then I'll mix it up again. All right, so we added the milk, we added the eggs, so now it's time to add the vegetable oil. Man, I'm drunk. It's 1/3 cup. Add your vegetable oil or whatever oil that you want to. Once again, this is 99 cents. And I'm broke. I always do 350, but I think all black people do 350. I've never met anybody that does not preheat their oven to 350. Like sometimes they'll be like, oh, preheat it to 425. No, I'm gonna preheat it to 350 because that's what my mommy said to do. Is this going well? Take your pan and take your baking spray. Once again, I am not a professional. I'm also not the healthiest. And I don't think baking spray is good for you. But I've had it for a while and it was free, so I'm gonna use it. You can't really argue with free. So then you just spray your little pan. It's time for another shot and another question. Wow. I thought most of these questions are gonna be funny, but these questions are really serious. What made you realize you wanted to be in front of the camera instead of behind the camera? Honestly, I think, oh, this is gonna sound really narcissistic, but I think I make a really good entertainer, and I feel like I can be really personable to my guests, and I feel like I make everybody feel at home, and I make everybody feel welcomed, and whenever you're around me, you're gonna have a good time. And I think a lot of people, like a lot of interviews that I see, you don't really see that, if that makes sense. Like you don't see people that make the guests feel welcome. You see people answering questions that their studio wants them to ask, or you can kind of see like the guests feeling a little uncomfortable with the questions, and I never want anybody to feel like that on my show. So I wanted to create a show to make people feel comfortable expressing themselves, expressing their creativity, showcasing what they offer to the world, because I feel like even if you're in front of 1 million people anyways, and if for at least an hour you can feel comfortable to show yourself to the world, I want to be able to offer that to people. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I don't know, I'm drunk. Anyways, time to take a shot. All right, so once it's done blending up and all that good stuff, it's time to pour it in your greased pan. Now you can grease your pan you can grease it with like Crisco oil, olive oil, almond oil. You can do whatever you want to do. This is what I do because it's 99 cents. You just pour it into your pan, and then you'll grab your spatula and then just pour all that in there. I thought it was gonna be a lot more like awkward without a guest, because I'm answering all these questions by myself. I think when you're drunk, you really don't care about much. And I'm having a great time. I hope you guys are having a great time so far. I like to swirl it around a little bit. I don't know. My mom used to do that. She used to have like a little, she used to sell cakes and stuff. And like she used to sell like cupcakes, cakes, all this random stuff to make ends meet. I should probably have my mom on here because, what am I trying to say? My mom was such a strong-minded woman, and she was a go-getter. And like, no matter what, we always made ends meet. And I think she would be a great person to meet. So while the oven is preheating, we're gonna set this to the side until it's ready. And we're gonna start the whipped cream base that goes on top of it. Because when you make a tres leches cake, you don't want like, it's already like so sweet and so milky and stuff like that. You don't really want such a sweet icing on it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a whipped cream base so that, it's kind of like, light and refreshing on top with some strawberries cut up on top of it, so that it's not too much for you. Because nobody likes too much anything. So we're gonna set this to the side, and we're gonna take our bowl. So you're gonna use some evaporated milk, and just pour that in there. You're gonna pour that in there, right? Cool. You're gonna take a cup of whole milk, or whatever milk you want. Me personally, I'm gonna use whole milk. If I'm gonna drink milk, I'm gonna drink milk. And you're gonna pour that in there as well. And then you're gonna take your sweetened condensed milk, because that's what makes it oh, that's too thick. Doo-doo-doo. I wish I had an electric can opener. Those are pretty cool. And then you're gonna take your sweetened condensed milk and you're gonna bloop, pour it into a little mixture and whisk it all up so that it all gets incorporated. I wash my hands a lot. I don't really like a sticky hand. I don't like anything on my hands. It feels nasty. You're gonna put this in the refrigerator until the cake is done baking. Oh my gosh, is that the oven? That's crazy. So now that the oven finally preheated 20 minutes later, you're going to put your cake in the oven. And then you let that bake for 20 minutes. Okay, cool. So now that the cake is in the oven, the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna make the whipped cream topping for the top of the cake. Cause like I said, I don't really like, when you make a my husband, he's Mexican, right? He always gets on me for my pronunciation because I just can't speak in general. So, tres leches cake. So for the top of a, oh my gosh, for a tres leches cake, I like a really light topping because the flavor of the cake, the amount of milk that you have already in the cake, it's already so much. You're gonna take about 2 cups of powdered sugar. Now once again, this is how I do it. Really, I'm just here to entertain you guys. I'm not here to teach you guys how to bake because I don't really know what I'm doing. And you put it in your sifter. Can you see? You just sift that bad boy. Oh yeah. That's 1 cup. And you're gonna do 1 more cup of powdered sugar. Okay, cool. Oh my gosh, this is a mess. And then you're gonna take about 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. And the thing about heavy whipping cream is that if you blend it too much, you're gonna make butter. And nobody wants butter on top of their cake. So don't blend for too long. And then I also take a little bit of, it's called Mexican vanilla blend. And I'll pour about, yeah, that's enough. Anyways, you're gonna get a different utensil to mix it with. And you're just gonna mix it on high. Oh. That's the beauty about not knowing what you're doing. Nobody can judge you for it because you already said you don't know what you're doing. So while this is mixing, we're gonna answer another question and we're gonna take a shot because that's the entire purpose of the show. The Tipsy Bakers Hour. Anywho, when getting into film, I'm drunk. When getting into film, who was your biggest role model and what made you want to get into this line of work? Okay. So, like I've stated before, like at the beginning of the show, we had a really good guest lined up. Her name was Kelly, and she went through so many adversities. She went through, she grew up poor. She had, she raised 3 kids, and when I met her, I was so inspired by her testimony, and I was so inspired by how she just overcame every struggle in life that she faced. And I was like, wow, if you can do it, I can do it. Raising 3 kids and doing the amount of work that she does for the show that she puts on, for the movies that she directs. It's just, I don't know, it was really inspirational and it was inspiring. And I was just like, girl, I can't be scared to do it just because I'm like, oh my gosh. Because my biggest thing was that I didn't want to be poor, you know. That's why I didn't, what am I trying to say? I didn't want to take the risk for the longest time because I was like, oh my gosh, you're so scared to be poor. Oh my gosh, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, she decided to take the risk. She decided to put in all this work, and I truly do think Kelly is just amazing and she's wonderful. And Kelly, if you're watching this, I am so proud of you and I'm so happy for you. And you're my biggest inspiration to be in this industry. But yeah, so I'm gonna take a shot now because I feel like I've talked for like 30 minutes. So now that we've mixed up our whipped cream base and our powdered sugar base, that's the stuff that goes on top, like I've said. It's almost time to take our cake out of the oven. So I personally prepared fresh chopped up strawberries so that I don't have to spend time chopping up strawberries for you guys, because they all know how to chop up strawberries. What you're gonna do is, I had already prepared a piping bag, my little piping tip in it. So what you do is you mix your little whipped cream base up. You take your cup with your piping bag in it, and then you put your mixture inside of it. And then you just beat it down. So that you're not like trying to force it in there. You get like icing and all that stuff everywhere, and it's just nasty in my personal opinion. So you just put everything in there, and then you twirl it around, boom, there you go. And then you just pipe it on. Oh my gosh, is that the sound for another shot and another question? So what is your worst drinking story so far? All right. So I'm not gonna lie, I kind of fell in my cousin's shower curtain after their 14-year-old daughter's birthday party. Now, I don't know if it makes it worse because it was their 14-year-old daughter, or if I was too drunk that I don't remember it. So yeah, probably for sure falling in their shower curtain, because that was 100% embarrassing because my pants were down. Okay, now that we've whipped creamed up the base, we've put the strawberries, I decided to go ahead and put it on the plate so that we didn't really spend too much time putting it on the plate. But anywho, for the final, I know that you guys look at it and it looks like a big pile of slop, but I promise you it tastes so good. But that's the beauty of the Tipsy Bakers Hour. We're not professionals. We're just people that come together to have fun and to bake. So anywho, the final question is, everyone knows in this field you need a bomb. You're funny. Everyone knows in this field you need a bomb hairstylist / MUA. What makes your hairstylist MUA so bomb to show in this journey with you? Okay. So my stylist and my makeup artist, her name is Cherie Watts, right? I've known her since I was 15 years old. She's been with me through prom. She's been with me through countless of hairstyles, countless of beauty trends. And she's never been like, oh, I can't do that, or oh, that's too hard for me, or oh no, I don't want to do that. She's always been like, okay, we can figure this out for you. And so that's how I was like, I don't trust anybody else but my face. I don't trust anybody else with my hairstyle because I know she's gonna adapt to it, and she's gonna figure out how to make it look the exact way that I want it to. And that's what you need with a hairstylist and a makeup artist. So Cherie Watts. Anywho, we're gonna try our cake because I feel like this is, it looks like a big pile of slop, but that's okay. It's delicious. Is it? Yeah, it's delicious. And another question that I have towards the end of the video is, what was it? Why did I dedicate this to my husband? Okay, so I want to be so honest with you. The reason why I dedicated this episode to my husband is because he's been my entire support system. He was always like, oh no, you're definitely gonna do well. You're definitely gonna succeed. He's just been like my rock, basically. And that's really hard to come about in today's society. So he's just always just like, yeah, girl, you're gonna do this, you're gonna succeed, I got your back, and even if you do fail, I'm still gonna have your back and be like, oh, it's okay, it just wasn't the right time for you. Like I said before, that's really hard to come about. All right, anyways, this has been the Tipsy Bakers Hour, and I truly do hope that you guys have had a blast. I hope that you guys have learned something, even though I'm not a teacher. Yeah, I hope you guys have had a blast, and thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!